me, that you hear me when I call. Is it true that you are thinking of me, how you love me? It's amazing.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. Tonight is our final worship night that we've got together in this in this kind of stage. We might be doing something later on. My name's Sarah Beecham, and I'm the Divisional Youth Specialist for Yorkshire North and Tees.
My name is Mark Kelly, and I'm the Divisional Youth Specialist for Yorkshire South with Humber Division. It's been a real privilege for Sarah and I to be joining you for the last 15 months, where it's been through the worship evenings or the trivia nights. We've had a real great time connecting with you in various ways. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we've done that over the last 15 months throughout this evening. But right now, we'd love it if you can like this post, share it with your friends and family. We realise it is a beautiful, hot day. England has won the football and many people are outside. But please share it with your friends and family. We'd love for them to join us this evening.
Yeah, let's hope everybody's watched it and nobody's recorded it for later on. Or if you're recording an England match, I think there's every chance you're going to hear the score. But yeah, it's been a great day so far, and we'd love to share this with as many people as possible. So like Mark says, please get liking, please get sharing this page, and then we will see how far and wide this goes. It's been fantastic. It's been a privilege to not only worship with you guys in Yorkshire and to Humber, but also very, very much around the UK. And in some cases, very much abroad as well, which has been fantastic, but something that we never expected.
Yeah, I think we first realised we had a bit of an overseas audience when we started getting notifications at 2 o'clock in the morning from, was it Canada? I think there was a group of people watching it over there, and they were playing along for trivia nights later in the evening. So it's just been great. I've been able to connect to people all around the world. So please do like and share this. Right now, those of you who have joined us so far, let us know where you're joining us from today. Maybe that's location, or maybe that's sat in your garden in the sun. Let us know where you're joining us for worship this evening.
So like we said earlier, this is 60 worship and trivia nights that we have done, and this is our 60th and final of those, which has been, again, fantastic, amazing, absolute privilege. What I would love to know is how many of those do you think you've joined us for? Is this your first time joining us for a worship evening? Or is this, for me and for James, this is number 59, because we missed one when we went on holiday in the summer. But yeah, how many have you guys joined us for? I would love to know the answer to that.
Just thinking, if you joined us for our, I can't remember, our year anniversary, as if we're saying that. If you joined us for our year anniversary, remember we had balloons, we had party poppers. We've avoided using them tonight because we realised we let the party poppers off too early and you missed that. So,
you just saw it like the party poppers coming down.
So we haven't got that this evening, but it is our 60th one, which is insane to think we've done it for that long. And it's been great. Just me and Sarah in our preparations and chatting with James and Christian, talking about all the different things we've done since that very first one. We're going to unpack that a little bit more this evening. Actually, we're going to invite James to come and chat with us as well, because he's been involved in many of these evenings, as you are aware. We're very glad to have Jen and Joel with us this evening. They joined us earlier in the year. I think it might have been towards the back end of last year. They joined us for some live worship. They're going to be sharing some live worship with us this evening as well. So we're glad to have them in the room, so it's not just us. And we're looking forward to spending some time with them this evening.
So we've already had some comments coming in. We've had the fact that the Huggins are watching from Sheffield, and they think they've only missed one, possibly two. That's incredible going. That's been fantastic. It's been great to get to know you and your family far more, Joe, during this last year. And genuinely, the girls have changed in just that really short amount of time.
Yeah, like me and James have put together a few videos this evening, and I'm thinking of some of the young people we've used like photos from the start of lockdown, last March, April time, to recently, and the transformation has been amazing. So you're going to see some of that later on this evening as well. Maybe you can also share in the comment section. You know we love having this interaction with you guys, but maybe you can share in the comment section your highlights. What has been your highlights from all the episodes you've joined us in? We're going to share some of that later on this evening as well. So we're going to have a great 45 minutes to an hour this evening together.
Yeah, so highlights of worship or highlights of trivia, whichever one that is. We're going to share together in a video just now, and then straight after that we are going straight to Jen and Joel, who are going to be bringing us some worship.
Thank you, Jen and Joel, for sharing that beautiful song with us this evening. We've said it, every week we've had someone in the room. How nice it is, what a difference it makes when we have live worship. And it's just sad we can't join and sing them in worship as well in the same place, but it's so nice to have them. So thank you both for sharing with us this evening, and we know we're going to hear more from you throughout the evening, so thank you guys so much.
I think I'd put them off if I joined in. I think if I started singing along, that I think everything would break down a little bit.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I would only sing along when we've got a full congregation, not when it's just me, you, and Jen and Joel. It's not going to be a quartet or anything like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've had a few comments that have come in that have said lots of people haven't missed many of the live streams. If I start singing, people will turn off the live stream without a doubt. So we've had some comments that have come in. Luke Furlong says, good evening from Berwick. And he just thanks Mark, myself, James and Christian, and everyone who else has been involved to make these evening possible. Ros Parker says, good evening from Red Hill, which I know now is in London. She's been with us most Sunday, and she thanks us all for hard work and preparation. And it was really lovely to have Ros up last week to visit the family and to be able to see her in person, which was lovely because it's been far too long. And it was really, really nice to see her. And then my mother-in-law says, hello from their garden, which is lovely. However, if any of you were with us for the trivia night last week, we have very much marked their patio with some of either the cream or the marshmallows. So they said it didn't matter. I feel terrible.
Well, as many of you will remember, what we did last August when we didn't have our summer school ISCA, we ran a mission week. Jane and Martin let us know we can organise for a group of young people to come round, help clean the patio and get that sorted. We will try and get that sorted for you, so we're sorry for that. Yeah, we'll try and get that sorted. We've had a message from Andrew that says, good evening, good to be with you again. For some unknown reason, I missed the first 2 months, but not missed many since then. Well, it's been great to have you join us, Andrew, and thank you for your regular comments. We've always said, me and Sarah, that it's you guys' interaction, your comments that helps us. When we don't have many, it does make it a lot harder work for us. Feels like we're just in this big empty hall to ourselves, but having you guys connect with us, it really does help. We've had a message from your dad. Alan says, I reckon Di and I have missed 2 live. And then Hilary Naylor, the officer over in Hull, says, thank you for your faithfulness with ministry during this time. And then from my wife, hello from the 2 little girls who have enjoyed watching Daddy and Sarah on TV. I'd
like to know why my parents missed 2. I don't think that's good enough. I'm all right with everybody else missing them, but come on, parents, step it up. No, I mean, my parents have been so supportive, and they've tuned in pretty much every week and got their comments coming in, so thank you both for that. I don't take it for granted.
When we go back to that very first week, would you have ever thought we'd still be doing this 15 months down the line?
No. and James has just said very clearly in our ear, no.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we've got James out later, we'll chat to him a little bit about that and kind of how those first few weeks went, we had an original plan, and we'll share a little bit with you all later. But it's mad to think that we're still here doing this 15 months on. But as we've said all along, we are having a break for the summer, and we do want to hear from you guys in terms of what happens next. And from September, Sarah and I will be wanting to start something new. We recognise that online ministry is something that is here to continue. When the church doors reopen, there's still this space that needs to be filled as well. So we'll be having conversations about what that looks like. It's probably not going to be what we've had. It won't be a weekly thing, but we want to hear from you guys, have your guys input into what that could be and what it could look like. So, stay tuned.
And we've got some other things that are coming up. In 2 weeks' time, on the 27th of June, we are going to be going to Temple Newsham. For anybody that doesn't know where that is just a massive park that is in the north of Leeds. We are going to go there. We are looking for it to be a summer social. We are looking that it's going to be from 2 till 4 o'clock. Please bring your own picnic. We're not going to be kind of sharing food around because of COVID, and it just makes our life easier if we don't. But we are going to be playing some rounders as well. So what we need you to do is, if you are planning to come to that, we need you to sign up. It's not just for youth. It is very much a summer social that is welcome to anybody who has been watching over the last 60 weeks. And that's fantastic. That it's not just been youth. It's been lots of different ages, different places that have very much joined in. But we would love you to sign up for that. We need numbers just so we follow the latest guideline, and whether that means we have to split into 2 groups, that would be absolutely fine, but we just need to be aware of that. So if you are planning on coming, please, please, please sign up. And thank you to the Huggins who have just signed up.
Yeah, great. And we've just had the Huggins family just sign up for that. The link to the Eventbrite page will be appearing in the comments section for you to click on and sign. As you can imagine, Sarah and I's life has very much become a little bit about adhering to COVID guidelines, what we need to do to make events happen and our program happen and how we make it work. So we will be following those guidelines for this event. And as Sarah said, if we need to split into 2 groups, we'll look at that. But what you guys need to do is sign up. That makes our life so much easier.
Absolutely. The under 18s need to be with an adult. They don't necessarily need to stay with their adult at all times, but you need to have an adult with you as well. So please, please, please get signing up. We'd love this to be very much about families coming together, about you guys that have been watching over the last 60 weeks coming together. Some of you guys I have only ever met once or twice. Some of you guys I have never met before. So it would be amazing to see you in person. So please, please, please get signing up to that. It is a free event. I think parking is free at Temple Newsroom, if I remember rightly. So it is going to be a free event. Just bring your picnic and we will have the rounders stuff ready for you to go and play some rounders.
It's mad to think of people we've grown on a relationship with, and we've never actually been able to see in person, a lot of these people. So yeah, we really hope you can join us on the 27th, because we'd love to have you there for a time where we're there in person. So that would be great. The last time we had a time where we could all gather in person was actually the Mission Week, which took place last summer instead of ISCA. And that was a great 5 days where we had 5 different days at different locations across both our divisions. And what we're going to do now is we're going to show you the highlights from that week. So have a look at this, and then we'll be joined by Jen and Joel with another worship song.
Come set your rule and reign in our hearts again, increasing as we pray, unveil our way made. Come set our hearts ablaze with hope, like wildfire in our veins. been so, so good to me. For I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You've been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You've been so, so kind to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You've been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
A huge thank you to both Jen and Joel there. I have to say, I requested that worship song. It's very much my favourite. And yeah, you did it absolute justice there. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much, Jen and Joel. You can't feel, well, I don't know, you might be able to feel the presence, but we can really feel God's presence in the room at this time. So thank you for bringing that and sharing it with us this evening. As Sarah said, it's one of her favourite songs. It's great to have been able to bring that this evening. One of the interesting things we've had over the last year is trying to find content for these evenings. And we have to thank you guys, because regularly we've got in touch with you and said, please, can you record this audio clip, or can you help us with a Bible reading, or can you help us film a worship song, whatever. Or we've got in touch and said, can you build the tallest tower, or can you do something crazy? Even in this room, over the last year, we've even had organised chaos. We had a live Easter egg hunt.
You say organised?
Well, we say organised, but it was just mayhem, wasn't it?
I think chaos was the word for that one, yeah.
I think they're still finding Easter eggs in the building. So Jen and Joe, whilst we're live, if you want to go off and find some chocolate, I'm sure you probably will do, find some eggs. But we've had lots of key points throughout the year that we've been able to focus on. And one of the highlights for many people was the Christingle service we held back in December. And I wasn't able to be part of this because my wife was giving birth to a second child and then she had an operation, so I was away for that. But it was actually lovely because me and my other daughter, Imogen, we were able to tune in and experiencing it from the other side of the screen and joining in a different way. So that was great. But many of you have shared that was your highlight from the last year. How did you find that evening? I know you're absolutely crazy about Christmas. How did you find the Christingle service?
I think crazy about Christmas about sums me up. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Not only did I have the privilege of leading that service with James, and we had a live band in, and we had Request a Carol, which was fantastic. But I was able to go and deliver all the Christingle packs to people's houses. Now, that was quite funny because some of them were done during the daylight where you can quite clearly recognise who I am. Some of that was done in the dark where you walk up to people's houses with a face mask on and you knock on their door and you just get this sheer look of panic. and then the panic on my side as well, because I was going to a lot of houses. I didn't know if I was at the right house and just really hoping somebody was going to come to the door that either recognised me or that I recognised them. But a huge thank you to my mum, who took time off work that week to help out and to deliver and to make the Christingle packs up as well. So that was amazing of her to be able to do that. But no, it was absolutely fantastic, and it really brought me massively into the Christmas spirit because obviously Christmas was different. Let's hope it's never like that ever again. But yeah, Christmas was different, but that was incredible.
One of the things for me, being part of it with Imogen at home, was the interactive element of it, how we were able to do the Christingles together and sharing that way. And we felt very much connected. I guess I have a different perception because I know what it's like being in this room and I was watching from home, but it was great being able to do that with my daughter who was just turned 3 at that point. So it was great to do it with her. And as I've mentioned, lots of people have said that was one of their highlights, and James was involved with that. So in a few minutes, we're going to ask James to come down and join. He's able to sit next to you because you don't have to social distance because you're obviously married, so that's great. So he can sit next to you.
He's all right.
So we'll get James down, but then we're going to show a clip from the Christingle. And it is a Christmas song, but it's probably the Christmas song that we could have any point in the year. And
you could have any Christmas song at any point in the year.
Well, I know you have a Christmas playlist on from the end of August.
Yours?
Regularly. But yeah, we're going to share with you the song Wonderful Counselor. And it was great to have lots of people involved in this song as well. So this is Wonderful Counselor, and then we're going to ask James to come and join us. So that was the Chris Tingle service, and that was wonderful counsel that was taken from that service. Now, during that time, James has come down and joined us from behind the tech desk. We say a massive thank you every week to you and Christian for everything you do. But you've been with us from the very, very start. And just before I come to you, James, I'm going to read a comment out from Andrea. It says, I have missed a few, but you have all done an amazing job. Thank you. You've delivered every week, and more importantly, it's been quality. One highlight was the week James was hosting and wondering what he was going to say. He did you both proud. I don't know what she means. You did an amazing job.
It was as much a mystery to me as it was to her, if that's any help.
James, you were with us when we first spoke. I think we're going back to we didn't even meet at a coffee shop because they were closed at the time. But we had a telephone conversation about this is something we want to do. We could do it from Morley. How's it going to work? Did you ever envisage it going on this long?
No, and I think you can tell that from the first one we did, which I think was, I've been looking back through them last night. I think we did just shy of 2 hours on the first week, which I do remember very vividly a conversation after that first one where we sat down and said, let's just be careful. Let's not use all our content in week one.
Which we did.
Which we did. Of course we did, yeah. Or certainly by the end of week 2. So no, absolutely, I don't think we ever foresaw us still being going in week 60.
It was mad because that very first time we met, it was the first lockdown where a lot of restaurants, takeaways weren't open. So it was the first time we had a coffee in like weeks, and I remember us all having a Starbucks, like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah.
I was going to say we had the Starbucks and things, but I think for the first few weeks we had to bring them in from like Tesco Expresses and stuff like that when we had to get it from an actual coffee machine because coffee shops still weren't open. That seems like a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
And then obviously we spent, I can't remember how many weeks we were at Morley, so a massive thank you to Morley Salvation Army. And then we came down to Sheffield City where we've been ever since, and we've had Christian's help, and again, a massive thank you to Christian. And I think from me and Sarah's point of view, since we've been here, we've been trying to, with your encouragement, I have to say, not raise the bar each week, but also see what we can get away with and what we can do. That's led to live cooking, which seems to have been a success from what everyone's saying. I know we found it quite stressful.
We say it was a success. Our food wasn't a success at all. The last one that we made definitely went in the bin, but it was James's fault. We did live pancake making.
Yeah, that was
and we ended up flipping pancakes and them ending on the floor. It was very much James and Christian's fault that we ended up with live baking. That was all on them. The Easter egg hunt, very much their fault as well. So we are blaming James and Christian for quite a lot of things. But it's been amazing to say that when we've had an idea, and a lot of the ideas have come from these guys, but when we've had an idea, they've just made it happen.
Yeah, it's made our life so much easier. What has been the challenge for you, James, from your side of things? And I have to say, another thing is, James has not just been behind the tech desk. When I found out, when we knew the birth of Eloise, James stood in because there was a period of time where I wasn't allowed to attend due to social distancing, because I knew we were going to be in hospital. So James very kindly stepped in. And Andrea says she was thinking about what you were going to say. You had it in the bag. You were fine. I was
tense all the way through.
One episode I tuned in on, I think one of you caught the TV because it fell off.
That was me.
No, that was me. I'm taking all credit for that one.
Yeah, that was back in the good old days where we balanced the TV on
tune
books. And
we've got a proper TV
luck.
stand now.
It was when Jen walked into the hall early and said, oh, you've gone more high-tech now. I remember when the TV was balanced on books. Yeah, I remember that as well. I remember catching it.
Yeah, I think to come back to your point of what was the challenge, I think the challenge of it from my side has been very much the highlight as well. The challenge has been, obviously from a second-hand point of view, trying to do new things, but equally that's been the highlight. I have enjoyed that we've tried not to let it get too stale, which was certainly a concern. And again, I remember a lot of our meetings happen with coffee or in coffee shops, I know that much. I remember sitting in a coffee shop probably back end of last year saying we need to find a way of changing things up a bit, because if not, it's just trivia night, worship night, how are we going to do it? But yeah, I think of all the things we've done, I have enjoyed the fact that we've constantly been trying some things. They've not all worked. The Easter egg hunt was a lot of fun. I don't think that worked entirely, but I enjoyed it, and there's still bits of chocolate,
Alex
chocolate under the chair.
commented, loved Easter egg hunt. I've never watched that back. Maybe that's something I might do at some point.
Do you know, I've watched a bit of it last night. It's not as bad as I remember.
It felt
awful.
It felt awful from here.
So one of my worst feelings with that, and the week before when we made chocolate brownies, was we'd just found out that we were having a baby, and one of the main things that triggered my morning sickness was the smell of chocolate. And they were the two things that we did back to back, and we hadn't told anybody at that point, and that was horrific. That was horrible.
Yeah, well, it was all right for me. I was in a different room, but...
Well, you say that, but there was one point in the first baking that we thought you were going to have to come through because I didn't think I was going to be able to hack it, and you didn't know at that point.
No, I didn't know.
So if I'd have walked off, you'd have been like, what's wrong with her? Where's she gone?
So I would definitely echo other people's comments about the Christmas being quite a special. And again, the wonderful counsellor thing. It's my favourite Christmas song, and it's always something we use at Morley with band and with worship band and congregation. That was something I was quite thinking, I really don't want to miss out on that year. So I remember you were there, Sarah. You were there at the back end when she did the recording of the band.
Yes.
I think that was probably the first live music we'd done in 7-8 months. I think we did it in October.
We did it very early on.
We did it very early, yeah. And we did that.
We
did that 12 hours notice.
Shield for a period of time as well.
I seem to remember Boris said something at 10 o'clock on Monday morning that by Tuesday we couldn't do it.
Yes.
So we did it at sort of 12 hours notice as well, which was... And that's the other thing I think we've done or tried to do or seem to ended up putting ourselves in a situation where we tend to do a lot last minute.
And just going on to that wonderful counsellor, the band you saw now, that group, that came from this, and then the recordings that we did on that evening were then shared to many corps, not just in our divisions, across the territory, across the country, to use throughout the Christmas period. So that was a great resource that we've been able to provide from doing these as well. And it was great that it was featured in that song.
I decorated the Christmas tree. That's all I did.
You did. One of the
I
other
did not
things,
play a brass instrument. I decorated the Christmas tree.
Speaking of Christmas trees and things behind the scenes that you can hear, me and Sarah did throughout Advent, every day of Advent we recorded little Christmas videos, intros to jokes, Bible readings and stuff. The Christmas tree is still up in the upstairs room at Castleford Salvation Army. We're keeping it there for this year, so it's ready. So we need to sort that out.
Yeah, genuinely, I'd completely forgotten about that till recently, and then thought, oh, that's still there. So DHQ's Christmas tree is at Castleford. Oops.
So yeah, James, going forward, how do you see, this is a wider question, maybe for all of us, not just James on the spot, bless him, but how do you see, as the church stores reopen, and speaking from tech side, I know you're involved and I'm involved in regularly, how do you see the church incorporating tech more going forward?
I mean, how long have you got, I suppose, is the short answer to that.
Long.
Not long. I think the challenge will be not using it as some sort of tokenistic gesture of saying, well, we did a bit online before, therefore we'll just keep doing the same thing. Because actually, I think as places reopen, the world reopens, people aren't going to consume content in the way they were doing before. I think, and I would like to think we'll start reaching out to the experts, you know, and people that do this stuff day in, day out, and who can help us engage in the best way and bring in the people, I suppose, and do it that way. But I think there's definitely going to be a period of adapting. And hopefully, if it's taught us anything, it's taught us that we have to be future-proofed as well. Because certainly at Morley, we hit Sunday 1 of lockdown and went into panic mode. And it's like, how do we get through this? What do we do? We cobbled together a few bits and said, right, let's work it out as we go along. I hope going forward we sort of take a more forward-thinking approach to things as well. And not just Morley, but across the board. And I think that's perhaps how we use it, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it is going back to that very first kind of, we started with a worship even our trivia night.
We started trivia.
When we use content and thinking, oh, we've got loads, like it's fine. We've got the last 7 years of ISCA content, youth band, youth chorus.
That's something else. I hope we record everything from now on, just in case.
Say, from now on, everything's recorded. We'll chop it up, save it. We might need that in the future. And that's one thing we realised. And when we had a meeting, probably October, November time, and we're saying we've kind of used everything once, twice, 3 times over. And also people's engagement levels in terms of being willing to record. They aren't able to do as much because their jobs are coming back. They're able to go back to work. They've got other commitments, which is completely understandable. What do we do? How do we change it? And that's when we kind of had the plans about the bake-off evenings, the egg nights, all these different things that we could try and focus on. And it's kind of led us to a point now where we're kind of bringing this to a conclusion and also reevaluating what we do going forward now. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what we do going forward.
I remember that coffee shop trip because we weren't allowed to sit indoors because it was 3 of us and we weren't all from the same household. So we went and we sat outside, but it was flipping freezing. It was so cold. It was bitter. And we sat there with like a cup of tea shaking. But that meeting I remember very much.
Yeah, and I suppose that's something else to actually take from it, something you just touched on, Mark, is that actually we came into this when it was just the three of us at Morley, having never done anything like this before, so we moved to Sheffield a few weeks later and we benefited from Christian's skills, expertise, equipment, all the rest of it. But I think I would hope it sort of shows that you can just have a fairly good stab at it. You know, that you don't need any you don't need any skill to do this.
Oh,
I think if we've demonstrated anything in the last year, it's that.
When you think about how much we've kind of developed and what we do, our preparation and how we deliver things, there's things we take for granted, definitely. But we've adapted and we've learnt along the way. And bless you, I'm not advising you to go back and watch our very first one.
No.
I watched it last night. I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah, don't go back and watch the first one. But it was something we recognised at that point. We needed to do this because it was our only way to really connect with our young people. It was our real opportunity to connect with young people during lockdown. So we gave it a go. And it was very much out of our comfort zone. I think I'm safe in saying that. Am I right?
Oh, very much so. Without a doubt. I never, ever thought that this would be how I saw my youth work kind of job playing out, ever.
But I mean, does it not demonstrate the different people you reach that you would have never reached?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
doing both your jobs as you were doing 2 years ago. You know, the amount of comments we get, the amount of times I have to say in your ear, we just had a comment from someone. I don't think I know who they are.
Well, that's it. For the amount of people we connect with now that we've probably wouldn't have envisaged that we would have, the new connections we've made, it's been absolutely great. And what is great now is to sit here and say, in 2 weeks' time, we would love for you to sign up to the Rounders and the picnic at Temple Newsom. We'd love to see you face to face. And that you've already mentioned, it's not just for young people, it's for anyone that has been involved in these evenings. Anyone that can come along, just all we ask is that you sign up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to know just for COVID numbers and stuff like that, but it's very much, it's open to anybody that wants to be there. By all means, arrive before 2 and stay after 4, but we'll be there from 2 till 4. And we'd love to see you there. James, what's your highlight been of this year, 15 months? Other than spending every Sunday night with your wife?
Yeah, that's certainly the number one.
Thanks.
Well done.
I've got a few. As I think it's always been a highlight. Like I said, the weeks we've done something different. I enjoyed the chaos of the Easter egg hunt. In terms of an evening, it would be split between the Christmas Chris Dingle evening. I was sat hosting it in your seat, Mark, and I remember we'd ask for people to text in images of Chris Dingles, and we ask for that sort of thing a lot. I get 10 messages pop through, because it's my personal number that it comes through to get 10 messages. You go, yeah, I'll sort that out. On that one, just hundreds and hundreds were coming in. It was literally a couple of hundred within, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, which was sort of crazy. So there was that, and that was the first time we had a lot of people in the room. There must have been probably 10, 12 of us in total, maybe. Or the praise party was the one before that. A similar number of people in the room, but that was at the sort of peak of social distancing. It was very spread out. The way it was amplified in here was that it wasn't, it was going through on the stream. I was sat over there on my own. There was Chris just in front, but actually it was quite a sit back and take it in moment of hearing everything going on in a very, very different way to how you would normally feel that sort of music. So between the two.
I think I would echo that. And it was what I really enjoyed was it was different for me not being in the chair for a Chris Dingle. It was so nice just to watch it, engage from outside of things and see what other people experience as well. Yeah, it's been great. We've had a few comments come in. Becky Devine said, "This has been my only church in years, so thank you for that little reconnection." And Alex Mortimer says, "You should all be incredibly proud of what you've achieved over the past months, stepping out in faith into the unknown at a time of uncertainty. You've demonstrated faithfulness to God, having control by giving him your gifts and allowing him to take the lead. Thank you all so much for what you do." What I would love to ask is people to continue sending in words of encouragement, particularly for James and Christian, who, for me and Sarah, this is our job. They've given up their free time, and we can't thank you guys enough, genuinely. I think we would have had a go at doing something. We would always roped you in, sorry. But we would have had a go at doing something. But thank you so much for, without fail, every week, giving up your time and talents to help support us, but support all the young people across the divisions as well. We do not take it for granted, so thank you guys so much.
It's very clear that we've all got different highlights of what kind of the trivia and worship nights have looked like. So we're going to go to some of our viewers, some of our young people, some of our adults, and very much see what has been your highlight of this last 15 months.
I've got so many highlights from all the trivia nights and all the worship nights, whether that's been running around the house, trying to find really obscure items, or recreating bizarre images, or even my feeble attempt at baking. But for me, my biggest highlight was back in September when I got to come down to Sheffield and take part in the live praise party, because that was the first time that I got to make music with real life people in months, but more importantly, it was the first time I got to worship with real life people in months, and that was just an incredible experience.
My highlight was the baking.
And my highlight's just been every Sunday night being together with the girls and having fun and joining in and having worship time together.
My highlight of the worship evenings has been able to be worshipping in our own space, in a space that we are always there as young people.
Personally, my favourite part of youth nights has been when we've had to recreate certain famous images or album covers with the people that we have at home and the objects we have around us.
We've really enjoyed all the quiz nights.
And Daddy especially enjoyed the Formula 1 and football questions.
But our favourite night was definitely the Christingle night. Thank you.
The concept of bringing families together for these worship and trivia nights was an inspirational idea, and this has given us the opportunity to experience, although remotely, the talent from across the two divisions amongst the children and youth work. We look forward to meeting you all face to face soon. I want to give a big thanks to everyone who's contributed in any way for the past 15 months to these evenings. God bless.
For me, I've really enjoyed having fun with my two girls. We've done some silly things together, we've done some praying together and just worship together, and that's my favourite part. What's your favourite part, Hope?
My favourite part was dressing Dad up like Mary on the Christmas episode and making us all look ridiculous.
And you, Esther, what was your favourite part?
My favourite part was the first week when we made a huge tower that was the size of the house.
It'd be really sad when these evenings finish, but we have really enjoyed them, so thank you to Mark and Sarah for all that you've done, and the rest of the team that have been behind the scenes making it all happen. Thanks.
So my highlight of the worship evenings has been seeing video clips, obviously from old ISCAs, brought back lots of happy memories, and I can't wait to make more ones at ISCA 2021.
My highlight of the quiz evenings has definitely been recreating the movie posters. Probably would say the ET poster was my favourite one, which I think I mentioned last week. Yeah, that's been a definite highlight.
Mine has been the worship evenings. I've loved watching all the old ISCA videos. Thanks for everything that you guys have done over the last 13, 14 months and helping us to keep connected.
Hi everyone, it was great to come and share in one of your trivia nights, and the highlight for me was the fact that the night was all about Disney, and we had lots of quizzes. We could speak about Disney films we were excited about, and that inspired us at times as well. The Disney strapline, where dreams come true, it's true about Disney, but it's also true about life, it's true about church, and it's true about our relationship with God. Thanks again for the invite. Bye.
My highlight of the trivia nights has been all of the practical challenges that we've been able to get involved with doing, and all of the live baking nights as well. All of the yummy food we've created has been a real sense of community.
My favourite part of the youth night was when we did the challenge when we had to make the tallest tower.
Hi everyone. I'd just like to say that over this past year, the highlight for me from the worship and trivia evenings has been to see the real talent that is displayed by the young people across both divisions. And a big thank you to Mark and Sarah and the team for all the hard work that they have put in to keep maintaining these evenings that we can share together. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to be able to join you for worship, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity of sharing about God's calling on my life with you all.
My highlights of the trivia evening, I have to say, have been the recreate rounds, partly because they've been really good fun, and also because of the embarrassment factor for my family. And then for the worship evenings, I guess the highlight has been when the restrictions have allowed live worship. I think that's something that we've all missed. I've certainly missed it greatly. And so those times when we've been able to hear that live worship has been really uplifting.
As a family, we've really enjoyed trivia nights. In particular, Sam's enjoyed cooking.
And I've enjoyed recreate the image.
And We've enjoyed Disney!
A huge thank you to Mark for putting that video together. I'd never seen that. A little bit emotional, but I'll blame baby hormones for that one. It's been amazing. Just the fact that everybody's highlight is so different. Mark, what do you reckon your highlight's been?
There's so many. Like, they're all highlights in different ways, I'd say. But in some ways, going back to that very first one, as much as I don't want to watch it back because I'd probably cringe and find it awful, just that it was the first time that we had got out, because we had been in a lockdown, strict lockdown, but we were able to get out then because it was classed as work. So we were able to come together and do something that was related to our jobs, as in we had kind of been redeployed in different ways, but we were coming to do something for the young people for the first time in a matter of weeks. We didn't know what it was going to involve. We didn't know what it was going to look like. And we had quite a lot of engagement straight away, which was great to feel connected in that way. So that was a highlight. And then just to see how it is kept people connected, and we have built these relationships to where we are today. So there's an element of sadness that we're stopping. I'm looking forward to having some Sunday afternoons back, of course. But I'm looking forward to the future. Like, we've always tried to keep it fresh. We've tried to do something new that is relevant. And whilst we say we're stopping the weekly worship evenings and trivia nights, we're very much looking at what fills this gap now. What do we do next? How can we do something online that fits in with the normal routine of certain events that we'll look to come back as restrictions ease? So yeah, my highlight will be that very first one because it sparked something new. What about you?
So the first one was fantastic. I was redeployed at the time to Keighley, and I was working for that Salvation Army with the food bank. I do remember having a conversation with Beth Clifford, who was there to volunteer, and just saying, so I'm thinking about doing some trivia nights. And she just came up with I can draw blindfolded. Just the randomness I think my highlight has been the Christingle, but I think it was everything about the Christingle, so not just the evening, but the actual build up to it, the going to people's houses, having chats with people on their doorsteps. That was probably more my highlight because I got out and I saw people who I'd physically not seen in person for so long. There were certain people that obviously I missed because it was very much they weren't in, so you left it thankfully it didn't rain on any of the days, but you left it somewhere safe and hoped that nobody walked off with an orange. But no, that was probably more my highlight just because it was something very, very different and I got to see more people in person.
It's been great that we've been able to come and worship in this way, come and spend time with God in this way and help other people have a church experience at home. I think it has exceeded our expectations, definitely. One thing we want to say, we've mentioned James and Christians, we also want to say a massive thank you. We've mentioned Morley Salvation Army, Sheffield Citadel Salvation Army for hosting us throughout the year. We also want to say a massive thank you to Wayne Price. We also want to say a massive thank you to Jen Palmer and Josh Chapman who stood in. But I want to go back to Wayne because he said his enjoyment was, doing the funny pictures. And I'm just really glad we've got these funny pictures that we can keep. So yeah, we can keep showing these and we'll keep hold of these, Wayne, for in the future. We'll definitely use them again. But it's been great having the support from both divisional headquarters throughout the year and just letting us kind of create what this is. Yeah, Wayne had very much stepped in. Again, he came in when Eloise's kind of operation was kind of being brought forward, and you were having to isolate to keep her safe and to keep the family safe. Wayne stepped in straight away at that point. And I do remember saying to him, would you mind kind of doing this? And just the willingness. He did quite a few evenings. And I do remember sat here. I'm fairly sure that we sat here I was in a onesie and I think he was in a Christmas jumper. Yes. Absolute mistake. We were just sweltering. It was so warm. But yeah,
that he was happy to do anything that we asked. So a huge thank you to Wayne, who I know tonight is not watching. But if you put some comments of support, I have no doubt that he will get to see them at some point. He's not watching. He's at his mother-in-law's birthday. If not, he was going to be with us tonight.
Yeah, so a massive thank you to Wayne for stepping in when I wasn't able to be here. It really is appreciated, but I know you loved it as well. It was great having you involved as well throughout those times. One of the things he isn't aware of is he sends the funny pictures and he says, we haven't got them. Well, we've also got a photo that no one else has seen that we promised we'd share. So this is something for you to enjoy.
He's watching.
So Wayne, just on the screen, a massive thank you to you. And this is a photo for you and your family to enjoy this evening.
Yeah, we've definitely had from his daughter. Could she bribe us to not show any more of these photos? But
sorry, Becky.
No, not a chance. These are just golden, and the fact that he's just quite happy with it all. But yeah, I say this.
We're going to show you. James has put together a compilation of highlights from the last year, and we're going to share that with you now. It's lots of the pictures that has been sent in over the last 15 months. So just enjoy this as we look back on what has been a great 15 months together.
You presence in this place, your glory on our face. We're looking to the sky, descending like a cloud. You're standing with us now. Lord, unveil our eyes. You're the reason we're here. You're the reason we're singing. Open up the heavens, we want to see you. Open up the floodgates, a mighty river flowing from your heart, filling every part of our praise. Show us your glory. Show us your power. Show us your glory, Lord. Show us your glory. Show us your power. Show us your glory, Lord. Open up the heavens, we want to see you. Open up the floodgates, a mighty river flowing from your heart, filling every part of our praise. Open up the heavens, we want to see you. Open up the floodgates, a mighty river flowing from your heart, filling every part of our praise.
Again, it goes without saying a massive thank you to Jen and Joel for sharing with us in worship this evening. It's just great. It's really great to experience that here in this room and to have that worshipful experience. And we cannot wait for the day when we can gather with all of our young people in the same room to worship together. And we know that day is coming, and hopefully it's not in the not too distant future.
So we just want to encourage you to get signing up for the Temple Newsroom Rounders and Picnic. Who would have thought I still couldn't do this? 60 weeks on and I still get flustered. But yeah, please sign up for that. The Eventbrite code and the posts that are going to be shared after this stream straight away on our Yorkshire Tees and Humber Facebook page. So if you've missed it, the comment has been in it's been in the comment section, but it will be shared again. And Elsie Jones, who says that she's, and I'm quoting her here because I'm not offending anybody, an oldie, we absolutely want you there as well. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's not just for you. It is very much a social for anybody that would like to come and join us. So even you oldies, and I say that kind of because I'm quoting someone and not because I'm offending anybody, I hope, we would love to see you all there. So please, please, please get signing up just so we know that we're staying in line with the COVID regulations.
If you're aged 12 to 26, we really hope we're able to see you at our summer school this year from August 15th to the 21st. I'm really glad I remembered the right date, so you know when you start something, you're not sure. We really hope we can see you at our summer school. Yes, it will be a bit different because of restrictions, but me and Sarah are committed to, and the staff team are committed to making sure an event runs that is in adherence to the guidelines at that time. You've only got 2 weeks left to get your applications in, and we've had quite a lot in so far, but we really don't want anyone to miss out. So if anyone would like to sign up, please do so as soon as possible. Get in touch if you have any questions. You can pay in installments. We'd really love to see as many people there as possible. I know Jen's already signed up. I think Joel's considering it, so it'd be great if we can get as many people there as possible.
I think Joel has been bullied in the room tonight, without a doubt, because we would love him to be at ISCA. It's not going to be the same without you, Joel, so get your phone. Just saying.
What else we want to share is, as you saw at the end of one of the highlights video, we're talking about doing something new online from September. These are conversations me and Sarah are going to have. We'll have them with James and Christian as well, but we want to have them with the young people from both divisions. We want to think creatively and imagine what that could be. So we know lots of you have opinions and thoughts. Please do get in touch to share them with us. We'll definitely be asking you, if you're at the Rounders and Picnic, we'll be asking you for your thoughts and arranging some conversations throughout the summer as well. So please do get in touch with Sarah and I
was going to say, and that Rounders and Picnic is the last day to get your ISCA form in. So if you haven't already done it, get it in before there, or if not, bring it to that day and we will happily take them off you there and then. But please, just for our benefit, sign up before that.
Yeah, it'd be really great to have as many people sign up as possible. Our deadline is slightly earlier this year, but that is just to ensure we can meet the guidelines that we need to meet. So please do get your form in. We'd love to see you at our summer school. The last thing we've got to do for our 60 weeks is bring this evening to close by thanking everyone who's been involved. We've mentioned James and Christian. As I've already mentioned, they do this off their own back and volunteer. It's not their job to be here, but they've been here without fail throughout the entirety of it. So thank you guys so much. We want to thank Morley Salvation Army, Sheffield Citadel, Josh Chapman and Jeb Palmer for stepping in, Wayne Price for stepping in, and then all the musicians that have come when they've been able to share with us. But most importantly, I want to thank you guys at home as well.
Yeah, we've had lots of people who have sent in videos for things like the highlight video. We've had people that have done interviews. We've had people that have joined us for evenings live. We are just so, so grateful for all of you for making that possible. We're grateful for the fact that you've given up your time and yet you've supported week in, week out. And it's not taken for granted. We absolutely love you all for doing that. And we are so, so grateful for just everything that you've given us, all the support you've given us. I think that's one of the other things. Although we are in a room on our own most of the time, or just the four of us in a room on our own. The fact that you have constantly been coming back in the comment section and telling us your feedback, telling us it's genuinely felt a lot of weeks like you've been here. So we are unbelievably grateful for each and every one of you for sticking with us, going with the stupid and ridiculous, bonkers, crazy challenges that have happened and really embracing it. So embracing the fact that we decided to do live baking, embracing the Easter egg hunt, embracing Christingle and everything else that we've done as well. And we are unbelievably grateful.
Whilst there is tinged with sadness that we do finish our worst evenings and trivia nights, it's kind of exciting as well, because that means hopefully measures are beginning to ease a little bit and we can start seeing people face to face. So we really do hope we can see you in 2 weeks' time at Temple Newson. As Sarah has already said, the details will be shared on our Facebook page after this evening. So please do sign up now. Why not do it straight after this? Get on the Eventbrite page. I can't say that again. Eventbrite page and sign up. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, and just a last huge thank you to James and to Christian for making all of this possible, to everyone who has prayed for us, everyone that has supported us. But James and Christian, thank you so much for everything you have been doing. And I can't say I'll see you next week, so how do we end this?
Just say thank you for everything you've done, and please do keep in touch with us. We want to keep these connections we've made, and we'd love to see you face to face. And if you ever have any ideas or suggestions, please do drop us a message. But thank you for everything you've done, and hopefully we'll see you all very soon. Take care.